Assurance is our sponsor for this morning. And at this time, I am going to ask Blood Assurance representative to come forward. And that will be Trudy.
I'm Trudy Pody. I'm the donor recruiter for Blood Assurance. Blood Assurance has been around we started in 1972. We're based out of Chattanooga. We're the local blood banking, nonprofit blood banking organization in our areas. We've now got cover 5 states, and we've got 13 centers throughout those 5 states. Don't applaud. But I've just started working with Blood Assurance in December. So I'm still kind of in training, learning how to, I schedule the blood drives for Blood Assurance. And I worked in Wilson County when I was in marketing, advertising for 9.5 years. So I love this town, and when they told me I was going to get to work up here, I was like, that's some great people up there. We are the sole provider for the blood for the Tanoga Hospital here in Wilson County. So just wanted to kind of introduce myself and us. Most of the people that I've spoken with don't know about Blood Assurance. When you hear the word Red Cross, everybody assumes that Red Cross supplies the blood for the hospital. They're a great organization, but we actually are the sole provider. I am getting one step at a time. I'm doing blood drives up here. We've got a bus. We bring the bus up. We've got a great staff that the phlebotomists, we set it up, schedule it, we do the blood drives. We've got, so far, we've done Blackwell Realty, a blood drive with them. We've got our second one coming up. And as a whole, we need to collect 562 units of blood a day to supply all our hospitals. We're in 53 facilities at this moment, and it's just amazing that since I've started, I mean, it's just such a good thing. You're saving lives. 1 unit of blood, 1 pint saves 3 lives. So it's very important. It's something that you can't make blood. You can give money. You can do. The only way you can save a life with somebody that needs blood is with donors, and that's our purpose. I've got a couple lined up here in Wilson County. We've got F&M Bank coming up, the one here in Lebanon and the one in Mount Juliet. They're going to kind of do a little battle of the branches, so that's going to be cute. That's going to be fun. And we did one just this week in Mount Juliet, and so I'm getting in, and I just want to educate people and let you know, if you want to do a blood drive, I've got my cards and I've got a little brochure about us, a little bit about us. I didn't want to bring a lot of stuff, but just give me a call. I'll come with you and sit down, and we'll figure out a date and a time. And usually a good drive is 5 hours long, and we do it in the morning, afternoon, evening, Saturdays, even Sundays if necessary. So just trying to help get more blood into to our communities. All the blood that we collect goes to Chattanooga for processing, and then it comes back to our hospitals. Tanoga gets 2 deliveries per week, so they're regularly getting it. If they need more, they get more. So again, I'm Trudy Pody. I will be the one scheduling the blood drives. We've got a great blood buzz. It's the Donor Express. All of them have different names, so it's pretty cool. And I've got some cards, and I've got a little, like I say, little brochure. It's just a small thing for you guys to look at, and I'll pass these out to anyone that wants to know about, a little bit more about us. And also, I've got a card that tells you about your blood. We all have different blood types. O negative is the most universal. That's the one that everybody can receive. So if we find out you're O negative, we're coming after you. but I do appreciate the Chamber letting us be here today, and I look forward to working with you guys and being up here in the Wilson County area. I've been gone for about 5 years, and I'm like, these are my people. So, but y'all are great up here, so I love you. And thank you so much for having us. And I'm going to kill Jay for not showing up. I called him, I'm like, I've not talked to him, but he obviously got tied up. It's not a big deal there. But like I say, I've got my card, and you know, I'll pass those out. Look forward to talking with you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Trudy. All right, at this time, I'm ringing my own bell here. It's chamber time. I want to talk a little bit. July the 17th, the chamber, we have our annual golf tournament, and that is July 17th. That is at 5 Oaks. We have a couple of spots left for sponsors and teams, so if you're interested, just see me or Tanya afterwards. I wanted to thank our main sponsor. Our title sponsor this year is Wilson Bank and Trust, and our major sponsors are Tenova Healthcare and Famous Footwear. Yay! Applause sign. Okay, at this time, it's member time, and we are going to introduce Healing Broken Vessels.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Patty Head, and this is Gina Bostic, and we're here from Healing Broken Vessels. Now, what is my name? Patty Head. Okay. I'm like the poster child for Healing Broken Vessels. I've had a stroke, and I wanted to know how to do computers. And when I went to see Miss Diantha, she said, well, you know, you can come here and try. I have learned, I didn't know how to send an email when I first went there. Now I can do a lot of stuff. Now I'm slow, I can't make a living at it, but I can do stuff and I can teach people things. But we do a lot of Healing Broken Vessels. We teach ladies, and a lot of them are older like me, how to do the computers, and a lot of them are scared, and they've come from backgrounds that, you know, they've been sort of stepped on. But we do so much more than doing the computers. We teach them life skills. We help them with, we have different speakers come in and talk to them, you know, about their finances and dressing and how to have more confidence. But most of all, we love each other. We pray for each other. And we just give each other encouragement. And Gina's one of the ones that are here. So.
And they help you, the ladies, they help you dress for success.
Yeah.
Because we have a clothing room that's just overly packed. We actually need bigger quarters. We have computers that have, during the Grace Project, we have computers that Windows XP, Vista, 7, and it doesn't take them long to wear out when you've got 10 people in there to learn how to use them, but you only have 5 computers that work.
Yeah.
So a lot of those have been put aside because they fill up so quickly and they slow down and bog down, and it's hard to get online and everything for them to do their tests, their typing tests, learn Word. We teach Word, Excel, how to use a computer, typing. A lot of people, you know, you can be on your phone all day long, but if you want a job in an office, you have to learn how to run a computer. And for a lot of people that, you know, if you can learn a smartphone, you can learn a computer. You know, you have to sit down and just do it. But we prepare them in many ways. We help them with resumes. We help them with clothing, like I said, so they can go to an interview and be dressed for success. And there's nothing but love in the place. I've been there 1.5 years. And currently I'm working through NCOA there as a participant. And we're working on a fundraiser right now. Anybody likes some Krispy Kreme original donuts, a dozen for $8 to help us get printer ink and a few other things that we need there.
We're very small, so we need all the help we can get. We want to grow, we want to help more people, but it's just hard when you're a very small nonprofit to get out there and do things, so that's why I'm so happy we're a member of the Chamber of Commerce now. So, what is my name again? Nice to meet all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. We're going to go straight into member time again. And at this time, I'm going to ask Gwen Scott of Fiddler's Grove to come up.
Most of you know me or have seen my face around. I've been at Fiddler's Grove for about 3 years now. I've been a volunteer there for about 12. We are one of the little gyms in Wilson County people don't know about. I'm just amazed that every time we have somebody come through there and they say, I've lived in Lebanon all my life and I didn't know this place existed. It just blows my mind. So I'm here to promote and tell you all about it. We are not there just during the fair. which we've got that coming up, and we're excited about that. But we open April the 1st, and we close October 31st. In the last 3 years, we have been trying to create events and draw attention to Fiddler's Grove, make it a destination place. So we've got an event coming up in July the 14th and 15th, and we're excited about that. It's Nettie Jacob Days. We've got 2 days of craft vendors, and we've got 2 days full of music. So we're inviting everybody to come out. We do charge $3 for anyone that's over 12 years old. We'll have food trucks, a little bit of everything. Before we have that, though, we will have our final kids camp. And one thing we do try to do is try to have events for kids. We really want to promote the fact that we are preservation of Wilson County antiquities, but in that we want to educate the kids about history and how they should be proud of Wilson County. I think we had 37 kids during the rodeo that they weren't competing and they were bored out of their head, and they came over and we had 6 ladies that taught them how to do quilting and sewing and woodworking and weaving and all these different crafts, and I'm sure that they will want to come back. We had kids camp in June. We'll have it July the 7th. We are teaching kids the similar crafts. They get to take a project home, but we are there for them if they want to come back and say, now how did I do this? We want them to come to us. And we're trying to reach out to the kids in the special school district. Next week we have 17 kids, and most of them will be sponsored by one of the churches. So this is something that we just started thinking about. We need to meet those needs too. And we have a lot of other events coming up all through the year until October 31st. Then, of course, we have the Festival of Lights. So a lot of things go on at Fiddler's Grove all through the year. People think we're just there during the fair, and that's not true. So, but I thank y'all for letting me tell you a little bit about Fiddler's Grove, and I hope you'll come out and see us. We do offer tours. A lot of people don't realize that we rent the buildings out for weddings, business meetings. We have a lot of weddings. Last year, I think we had around 22 weddings at different locations out there. And we're one of the cheapest places. You know, you can rent a building for $200. So the most expensive one is the church, and it's $400. So we offer a lot of different services to the community. Just hope you'll come out and visit with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Gwen. It is a neat little area. I love going through that out there. Okay, we're going to move right along, and at this time, we're going to introduce our mayor, City of Lebanon, Mayor Ide.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. There you go. I'm going to be fairly brief this morning. I just left the radio station where we talked about the Honor Ride for Veterans. This is our 5th annual motorcycle ride for veterans. The money goes to the Veterans Parking Museum, which is almost complete now. So a week or so ago, we moved in the helicopter. We have a helicopter inside the building. This is a Vietnam-era Huey helicopter. So when we get opened up, you'll need to come out and see that. The other thing I want to talk about today is parks and recreation. We have a wonderful Department of Parks and Recreation. They're short-handed. They do the best they can, and we're working on that. In this year's budget, we provided some money to hire some extra people to help them out. We have several ball fields that they keep in a pristine condition year-round, and we're so grateful for that. But we also have the Don Fox Park. We're building the West End Park out near, help me, Hamilton Springs, yes. That's going to be a great 15-acre park. We have trailways, a lot of other things to offer. Now, the John Fox Park, because of lack of help and we've had a lack of maintenance out there, but we have addressed that issue. The City Council has set aside $500,000. We're going to remodel the old Stockade Park. It was built 23 years ago with a lot of help from the community. They actually came out and built that thing. It's beautiful. but over 23 years, it's started to fall apart a little bit, so we're going to take most of it down, except for the front entrance to the park. We're going to preserve that to honor the people who built it. But we're going to add a new park out there with modern equipment. It's going to be handicap accessible, so handicapped children can play with non-handicapped children at the same time. Thank you. And if there's any money left over, we'll address the track issues and bring it up. The restrooms, water fountains, a lot needs to be done. I am hoping to talk to the council into setting aside a budget for parks specifically so that we can maintain the parks year-round and make sure that we don't fall into disrepair again. So, could somebody follow me around with that sign? But that's all I've got this week. Thank you very much.
And I saw the pool open back up, the wading pool way open back up.
Yes,
Hey.
we had some problems with the pool. We hired a company to come in. They came in over the weekend, worked around the clock, got that thing back up and running in 2 weeks.
Woo. Awesome. All right. Keeping you in the know, we're going to go with member time. It's going to continue, and we are going to introduce Evan with Summit Family Practice. Chiropractic.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Dr. Evan Pridmore with Summit Family Chiropractic, where we specialize in specific and neurologically based chiropractic corrective care for the entire family. So what that means is every medical textbook states that your nervous system, made up of your brain and spinal cord, controls and coordinates every other system in the body. So we do a lot to take care of ourselves, right? You know, we exercise, we eat right, but nobody really does anything to take care of their brain and spinal cord. And your brain and spinal cord needs to last you the entirety of your lifetime. So it's important to maintain its integrity so that way all your other systems can function the way they were designed to. So we use the most state-of-the-art technology at our practice in order to evaluate the nervous system, locate where that dysfunction is, and then correct it so your brain and your spinal cord can communicate with the rest of your body and heal from the inside out the way you were designed. We are actually having our ribbon cutting finally. Our practice is getting open. I've been in the community a little bit now. You probably all have seen me at one event or the other, so we would love to invite you out to our ribbon cutting. It's on July 12th from 4 to 6. It's an open house. The actual ribbon cutting is at 4:30, but we will have food, raffles, networking, tours of the office, and we just want to make you feel at home. So our family looks forward to serving your family with specific and neurologically based chiropractic corrective care. Thank you for your time, and we really look forward to seeing you at the ribbon cutting.
Thank you, Evan. Y'all were just waiting on that, weren't you? Just a look on your faces. Okay, at this time, I'm going to introduce Representative Mark Pody.
Hi, y'all, if you never come down here, come on down, because it's like fun at the chamber, okay? They're having fun. First off, Trudy, I am O negative. Just to let you know, okay? Now, so if you weren't here, there was a battle from the one side, which was all women on the one side of the table and all men on the other side. It just happened to work out that way early this morning, and the right side, the women, let us know, no matter what we said, they would make it right and they would win, okay? And Patty, I have to tell you, my mom actually had a stroke. And so we are dealing with some of those very, very things that you were talking about. So I appreciate what you all are doing very much. I appreciate that. Some things that have happened. July 1st is tomorrow. So as most calendars, they start in January. The state has a fiscal year which starts July 1st. So when we pass a bill, it usually goes into effect July 1st unless it's otherwise indicated. So almost all the bills and all the laws that we passed are going to be going into effect tomorrow. With that being said, one of the biggest things that's going to affect every single person here that drives is we're going to be watching our gas tax go into effect. So I would suggest you get gas today, fill up today, all right? Otherwise, there's going to be a 4-cent increase on gas tomorrow. But some of the other things that are going in is this. We passed 2 bills that came from Wilson County. One of them was there's a group that does honeybees. And, you know, right now, some of the hives and such are actually kind of underneath attack and such, and through disease and other things that are coming in. So they're not-profit organization, and what they wanted to do is they wanted to try and raise some money to help honeybees. So they said, we want a specialty license plate. So we passed a law saying that if they can get 1,000 people to buy their license plate, they will have a special honeybee license plate. And then somebody else came and said, you know what, we want a specialty license plate, and it's for diabetes. So if anybody wants to support that organization and such, you can actually go in and buy a diabetes license plate. So they need to each get 1,000 of them before they're actually going to go and be something that'll go on a license plate that you can see. All right. One of the things that we did do this year was the state has literally millions and millions of dollars of unclaimed property. So every time somebody, you know, you close a bank account, somebody dies, and the bank will turn around and they say, what do we do with the money that's in this account? Nobody's touched it for 2 years, 3 years, whatever. They turn it over to the state of Tennessee. Or it can be stocks, it can be bonds, it can be anything that somebody's doing with this business, with another business, and they can't track down the owner of that asset. They turn it over to the state. The state holds it into a fund. It's an unclaimed property fund. And the state, you can claim that forever. It's always there. The state's not going to spend it. It's not going to do anything with it. It's just trying to track down who has that money, who's the rightful owner. There is actually a website that we have created. It's called claimittn.gov. So just www.claimittn.gov. You type in your name and your address, and you see if you have any unclaimed property there. Now, you can do it the same thing if you've got a relative, and if you got an unusual name, you might want to consider putting in what might be a misspelling, whatever the most common misspelling would be of the name or address, and you can actually see on there if you have any unclaimed property or any of your relatives. And it doesn't cost anything to get that. Sometimes there's companies that will say, we'll look it up for you, but the only thing they do is go to that website, do the same thing that you could do for free, okay? All right, the next thing we passed that's going into effect July 1st is we tried to pass something to curb welfare fraud. We've got a safety net in Tennessee. We want to make sure those that are most needy, if they need food, if they need services, that they get them. However, Tennessee is a very open state, and there's a lot of people, for example, that will come to Tennessee and they move out of state, and they don't tell us they moved, and they keep getting benefits. So they might be living in Illinois, Georgia, whatever, and we still mail it to their address in Tennessee, but they're not living there. It's just forwarded on. So we went ahead and tried to find a way through the computer systems and such to see if they moved, that they're not going to get benefits if they're living out of state. We also have it where people, they actually would win lottery money. And if they won a lot of lottery money, they're no longer eligible for benefits. And so forth. We put in a computer system as well that said that if they're a winner of a lottery ticket, okay, that they shouldn't be on welfare for the state of Tennessee. So we've tried to combat that, but make sure the most vulnerable still get the benefits that they need. So that'll be going into effect as well tomorrow. The next thing we did, when somebody is killed and they're working for us and they're a first responder, that would be policemen, firemen, EMS. We said if they're killed in the line of duty, the state's going to pick up their health insurance payment for that family for 2 years. They're dealing with enough at that point. They don't need to instantly take it off their insurance, and we're going to make sure that that family will have insurance for the next 2 years. So starting tomorrow, that's going to go into effect as well. We are trying to make sure we're taking care of Tennesseans. We also passed some bills as we're getting older, including me. And I will tell you, one of the discussions before we started was about age, okay? And we do have an elderly population, and they seem to be targeted for fraud. They seem to be, there's people going out to try and specifically take advantage of them. And we're trying to put more legislation in to protect those elderly individuals, to make sure that their hard-working lifetime savings is not taken away through fraud. We don't want to be intrusive in what their business is, but we certainly don't want to be just taken away from them. The other thing we've done is there was a big accident that we all heard about last year. We lost a lot of students in one bus crash in Chattanooga. We looked at that and we studied it. Some people said we should put seat belts on the buses. We talked to bus drivers. We talked to a lot of people in the industry to find out what is going to be the best way to address this issue. We don't want our kids hurt. They need to be safe on the buses. And we studied this throughout the country. What is going to be the best way to protect our children when they're on these buses? And we found that most of the accidents are coming from drivers that aren't necessarily qualified. So we made it harder for an unqualified driver to be driving in those buses. We also raised the age that they got to be at least 25. They can't have any tickets for the last few years. So we tried to strengthen it. We did not find, the data never showed that seatbelts was going to be the best way to go, because if there's a fire, it is too hard to get those children off the bus. But we did make those laws, and those laws are now in effect, so our kids will be safer on the buses. The next thing we did, foreign language for schools. Typically when we go to school, you take French or Spanish or Latin or whatever. However, we said starting July 1st, you can take sign language as a foreign language, okay? So
It's actually the second most spoken foreign language in America.
second most spoken
Spanish is
foreign.
first, sign is second.
Sign is second. So we put that in, and I think that's going to help as well in communication. And those that need it, we got to be able to communicate with people. And we live with each other. We have to find a way that we can make sure that we're communicating with them. Okay. The other things that we've done is there's going to be money going in to make sure broadband is going to be across the state. All right, Tennessee is not a leader in access in rural areas for broadband. So we have taken steps, and we're trying to find private partnerships with the state and with electric companies and such, that how can we get broadband across the state. It's going to help with education, it's going to help with medical, and it's going to help attract new businesses to the rural areas as well. So that's going to be going into effect. That was about $45 million that we're investing in that. Bernie, I need that sign too.
Sounds great.
All right, the last things, or a few other things that we've done, is something, if you're a minor, your ID is going to be a little bit different. You know, when you go and you got to check, and they say, we want to check your ID, all of us have a horizontal ID on our driver's license. But if you're going to be a minor, it's going to be vertical. So it will be very easy to see if that person is a minor or of age. And then that'll be going into effect as well on July 1st. So if you start seeing IDs a little bit different, it is simply to find out who is actually a minor. It'll be harder to fake that. And so it's going to be, so if you're 21, up till 21, you will have a vertical ID. As soon as you're 21 or older, you will have a horizontal ID. Okay, so that's going to be going into effect. And I got to tell you some really good news as I leave this. Just came out. Unemployment in Tennessee, 4% in Tennessee. And in Wilson County, our unemployment is 2.2%. That is incredible. That is incredible. So, the report I wanted to give you and leave with y'all, Tennessee, as a state, we are in really, really good shape. Mayor, the mayor, I will tell you, I found out something unique about him this week. All right?
Might sound right.
So I'm going to tell on him just a little bit. I went to a senior citizen facility here, and there's the mayor. There is the mayor. And I looked over, and he's in a judge's seat. And I said, "You're having the mayor in a judge's?" And this is for a spelling contest. and
Jokes galore, Mark.
So, and they said, Representative Pody, you're going to be reading the words so everybody can spell these words. And I looked at some of these words, and these are our seniors that were actually in a spelling contest. And I thought, I am so glad I'm not a participant or a judge in finding out. So, Mayor, congratulations on judging that. That was awesome. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Mark. Chamber time. Today, I'm going to invite you all to join us at TCAT for a business card exchange, and that will be at noon today, TCAT, and that is on Tennessee Boulevard, so I encourage you all to attend that with us. That's always fun. All right, in the know. We're going to move on, and at this time, I'm going to ask if I have any members here that have not been up that would like to come up and share who you are, a little bit about your business. Mr. Jim Worshing.
Good morning. I am Jim Worshing. I spent 26 years in the Air Force. To my knowledge, I didn't kill anyone, but I did learn that I have a passion for leadership. And so once I retired, that's what I've been doing ever since. And I've partnered up with some other folks here in Middle Tennessee, and we're providing some different workshops and programs and meetings that I'd like to tell you about. The first one we call the Second Saturday Business and Biscuits. This is a twist on the usual networking meetup, most notably because it's on Saturday morning. Dress casual if you desire, but please no jammies or bunny slippers. We'll have refreshments, and there is no cost. You should attend if you are an entrepreneur, a person in business, someone looking for referrals, someone who has referrals to give, or someone who is interested in wealth accumulation and preservation. Bring your business cards, your 60-second elevator pitch, and your smiling face. And Dr. Pridmore did this a couple months ago. He came to one of our first ones. Feel free to bring an adult guest. And during the 15-minute spotlight, our guest speaker will briefly discuss ways to protect and preserve your wealth. We'll be done in plenty of time for you to get to your chores, your honey-do list, your children's ball game, or just go home and watch TV. The featured speaker for our next meeting on Saturday, July 8th, will be Brian Pennington. Brian will be speaking on financial strategies to build greater security in your retirement years. And this event will be held right here in the Lebanon Wilson County Chamber of Commerce from 10 a.m. to noon. Our second event is the 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. It's a book by Dr. John Maxwell. So, if you agree that there are 15 laws of growth, then surely you must be wondering what number 12 is.
What is it?
It's the law of curiosity. Come to the workshop and learn more about the other 14 too. This workshop will be held right here at the Lebanon Wilson County Chamber of Commerce on 5 consecutive Monday afternoons from 2 to 3:30 in the afternoon, beginning on Monday, July 10th. Our third event is going to be the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, another one of John Maxwell's books. He's rather prolific. Together we'll learn how to effectively raise our leadership lid by understanding and implementing the principles of the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. Need to skip a week? no problem. Each week stands independently, so you can come and go as your schedule permits. This workshop will be held here at the Lebanon Wilson County Chamber of Commerce on Monday afternoons from 4 o'clock to 5. And that also begins on Monday, July 10th. Our next workshop will be how to be a real success. And to become a real success, spelled R-E-A-L, it's imperative to relate to others better as you understand relational rules, to equip others with the proper skill sets, to improve our attitude through daily practice, and lead others successfully to where you have gone and beyond. This workshop will be held here at the Lebanon Wilson County Chamber of Commerce on Monday afternoon, August 14th and August 21st from 2 to 3:30. And if necessary, we'll make adjustments for that total eclipse of the sun on the 21st. That's a song, by the way. You may not all be old enough to remember that. I am. Again, the age thing that we had earlier. And finally, the leadership game. The leadership game can be played by individuals from multiple companies and businesses, or by teammates from within a single organization in one 60 to 90-minute session. This game will reveal the participants and the organization's strengths and shortcomings. The results are used to create a personalized leadership development action plan so that you'll know what you need to do next. We'll schedule a session of the leadership game anytime that we have 5 or more participants. And for more information on any of these programs, please check the Lebanon Wilson County Chamber of Commerce e-newsletter or call me at area code 334-391-1299. Notice that's not a local number. I got it long before I moved here. That number again is 334-391-1299. And we're anxious to help you build your leadership capacity. Thank you very much.
I'm Susan Lockhart with Lockhart Trucking Academy in Mount Juliet. I've actually spoken to the group before, but I wanted to come up again today and just remind everyone we are actually having a safety event and job fair for the trucking industry. The event will be in Nashville a week from tomorrow at the Shriner Temple, but several of the companies that will be represented there are here in Lebanon. Saya, May Trucking, I know Ari West started here, Averitt. A lot of these folks actually have runs here that will be hiring folks from Lebanon area, but because of where their corporate offices are, we had to have something close to the interstate and all that. So anyway, Averitt Express, AWL Transport, their flatbed division will be there, Batesville Logistics, May Trucking Company, which is here in Lebanon. They're based out of Oregon, go coast to coast. McCormick Trucking, Morgan Van Line, RE West, Ryder, Saya LTL Freight, being represented by Lebanon, Tennessee Contract Carriers, which is out of Carthage, Tranco Logistics, and also the career centers. Every county has a career center where folks can go to apply for assistance or help just finding what may fit for them for a job. They actually have a mobile career center, which is a little bus, and they bring the career coaches out and have the computers so they can help you with your resumes and those types of things. The mobile career center will be at this event. We also have 11 trucks, tractor trailers, the Nashville Fire Department, the No Zone truck from the Tennessee Trucking Association will be there. So we want folks with families to come out, touch a truck, climb in them. I'm all about safety, and I can tell you, when you are outside looking at the truck, it's completely different than being inside. Those trucks weigh about 80,000 pounds loaded, and it's very hard to stop them. And I think when we can get folks inside just to look around, you have a newfound respect for it. Also, we are trying to introduce the industry to the newer generation because there is a shortage nationally of truck drivers, and it is very critical. A lot of these companies are going back and hiring retirees, recruiting retirees to come back to drive. So we're seeing a lot of folks over the age of 70 coming back to drive these 80,000 pound vehicles. Our average student is around 35, 40 years old that comes through our school. So we're trying to reintroduce it because folks are retiring out of it. There's a lot of new technology involved, and they don't want to learn it. And I think that would, attract the younger generation, but there's nobody out there pushing it. So I've kind of spearheaded that, and I'm working with the trucking companies across Tennessee. Hope to have more events like these, so that we can try to get folks to look at that. There's like an electronic logging device that will be required by the end of the year that will replace the old logbooks. Most folks don't even want to learn how to use an ATM or remember passwords, so you can imagine if you've had a truck driver for 30 years and you're telling them all of a sudden they have to use this little machine instead of paper. So that's what we're trying to reach out to, get the word out that the industry has changed. It's not Smokey and the Bandit, it's not the old cowboy days, it's a professional, customer service oriented.
About eastbound and down?
No, sorry. I get that song a lot. But also, and just to bring your kids out, we're going to have face painting, balloon animals, balloon artists will be there, rock painting, and Jack FM 96.3 will be there for 2 hours during the lunchtime, giving away free ice cream. And we do have the Bacon Nation food truck that will be there selling food. So you can go to our website to find information about it. It's LockhartTruckingAcademy.com. We're also on Facebook under Lockhart Trucking Academy Recruiting, and we're on Instagram. So, thank you.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Aaron Cito. I'm with Robertson Family Water. Robertson has been in the water business for 43 years. We do free water tests to take a look and see if you may have issues. But everybody that lives in Wilson County has rock. And essentially, Middle Tennessee is rock. So pretty much everybody has hard water. So we can do a whole house filtration for you, soften your water. It's so nice in the shower, nice and soft. Plus you can drink water right out of the faucet. It's a wonderful thing. Everybody deserves clean water. So good to see y'all. Thanks very much.
Aaron. Anyone else? No one? I know. Okay, all right. Moving along to keep us in the know will be our City of Lebanon Economic Development Director, Miss Sarah Hazen.
Thank you, everyone. Appreciate you, Mark Pody. Thank you for all that you've done for the state and for Wilson County. Good to see you, Mayor. Just wanted to just briefly update you on some of the things, different projects that I've been working on for economic development. Last month, the mayor and myself, along with Mayor Hutto and Mayor Jennings and the JECBD and Mr. Kenny Martin went down to Las Vegas, where we attend a national retail convention where we're focusing on bringing retail to Wilson County. So the JECBD actually sponsors a booth for us there, and we all take turns working the booth, and we have a good time. But my focus and the mayor's focus is really to get appointments beforehand, and we have a very targeted approach to have one-on-one sit-down conversations where we can present our community to different restaurants, different grocery stores, whether it's a sit-down, a fast casual, or a fast food, and talk to them about Lebanon and what Lebanon has to offer. So we really do our research beforehand to see what industries and what different retail groups are looking to expand, and specifically which are looking to expand in Tennessee. So then we want to show them, well, if you're looking at Tennessee, let us show you Lebanon, and here's our population, here's our daytime traffic, and why we think we will be a good fit. And part of that also comes from the community. We did a survey last year to really reach out to the community to see what types of restaurants, what type of shopping, what are they interested in. So we have our data and we have our gaps of what we're missing and where a resident has to leave Lebanon or Wilson County to purchase that, then that's where we want to start, and then take the community input as well. So it's interesting because if you're a Nashville-based business and you're looking to expand or grow, Lebanon might not really be on your radar, but let's move across the country and maybe look at Dallas and go 30 to 40, 60 miles out and talk to those companies because they're looking to expand and we might be in their market. So we start with taking the competing cities with cities like Nashville and go out from there. So just to kind of give you an idea, I had about 18 appointments while I was there in Las Vegas, but we also have partnered with Retail Strategies, which I've been very impressed with their efforts. I was with them all day yesterday. They came in from Alabama, and we drove the area, looked at the different property opportunities, and also connected them with the property owners. So sometimes we'll have a phone call come in from an organization that says, hey, we really want to be in Lebanon. Where should we go? This is where we were looking and I can't find a spot. Well, but I know because I've talked to a family that said, hey, if anyone asks you, we're willing to sell. So we have a business where we can go ahead and connect them because looking on the outside as you're driving down the street, you really don't know about their financials, their situation, their retirement plan. You don't really know what they're thinking. So the more that we can connect the property owner to a potential buyer, that's where we get that magic of success. And having Retail Strategies as a partner has been so beneficial, even though we just recently signed with them, I think it was April or May, but they had 200 appointments in Las Vegas compared to my 32 or my 18. So what that means is if a company was looking at Cookeville, they can say, well, you know what, let me show you Lebanon. I know you were looking at Cookeville, but they have comparable demographics. So it's really opened up more opportunities for us. And there are quite a bit of people from the retail industry that are looking at Lebanon that just haven't found the right spot. So I do encourage anyone, if you're in real estate or a broker or you know a family that's looking to sell their property, just give them my card, give them my information. The more conversations I have with everyone, the better we are at making those connections. I am very excited to tell you guys all that Panera opened on Tuesday. So make sure you go out there if you haven't already and give them a great Lebanon, Wilson County welcome so that they can see how awesome of a community we are with the people. They're a corporate store, they're not a franchise store. And just to kind of give you an example of a timeline here with that project, that was one of the first projects I started when I took this position in January of 2016. So I started calling on Panera in January of 2016. They committed to the city of Lebanon in May of 2016, and then they opened their doors for business in June of 2017. So it might sound like it happened fast once you saw the construction and it moving along, but there were a lot of conversations that had to take place prior to that. So sometimes it's even a longer process. I also started talking to Bojangles at that same time, but they had been looking in the area for quite a while, and they didn't commit to Lebanon until November. So January to November before they committed. And they've started their groundwork on their construction across from Hartman Drive, off of Hartman Drive across from Chili's. You'll see a sign that says Bojangles coming soon. And since that project has started moving dirt, we've had others call about that same area, which leads me to our exciting project of the Hartman Drive corridor study, which we as a city are very excited about and glad that we took this initiative. We've hired an outside consultant team that is almost made up of a dream team. So we have Reagan and Smith, who are the architect and the engineer group behind it, but then we also have Common Ground, who we've worked with on other projects. They're helping us with our design standards, if you will, so we can change some of the aesthetics of the new development. And they're focused on urban planning and design. And they are based in Nashville, but they're a national company. So they bring a lot of expertise to the table. And then also Randall Gross, who is an expert economist. who's bringing the analysis and the data to the entire package, and then Sterling Communications. So she has helped manage the process in the sense of not just communicating the process to the community to get that engagement and that involvement, but also she's recorded everything and dialogued with everyone. So just to give you an example of that, on Monday we had our first public open meeting, and we had 11 different tables and 11 different facilitators where they all asked the same questions to start that dialogue and get that engagement. Well, the Sterling Communications recorded all of that so we could take all of that data that was presented and analyze it. So then on Tuesday morning, we all met, analyzed all the comments, ranked them to kind of put the like-minded thoughts together, and then took that data and put it on a map in a pictorial kind of interpretation. So you could say, this is what your community said. If we did this, this is what it would look like. So not only from a map view, but then we went and found images of what those types of businesses could look like and put those all up on really nice boards for the community. I guess last night we came back and we had over 80 people come, and it was so awesome to see a citizen who doesn't understand planning, who's not in an economic analysis, who doesn't typically care about zoning, say, wow, this was my comments. You asked me for feedback, and now you've put it up here, and if it went, this is what it would look like. And the positive that came out of that, and the sense of the community coming together with, thank you for listening to me, and thank you for letting me be a part of it, was really awesome to witness. And again, I was really impressed with the presentation of it coming together. So I'm really excited about that. We do have a lot more work to do. I don't want anyone to get the idea that we've already come up with a plan, because the second meeting was really to present the interpretation of the data. So from there, we go to the steering committee and we show them and say, well, is this the direction you want us to continue? But then we still have to take in the economic analysis. You could have the prettiest plan in the world, but if it's not going to bring economic vitality, it maybe doesn't make sense for the future of the city. So we still need to analyze that component as well. But we're moving in the right direction, and it's honestly so awesome to be a part of it and see how it's all coming together, because it is shaping the future of the city. And then real quick, I just wanted to let you know that I think it was last Friday actually, Melanie Minter and I went down to Cookeville and went to the Tennessee Manufacturing Association presentation. They were on a statewide tour and got some of their data and their insight as to the world of manufacturing. We know that Wilson County has become kind of a hub for the state. We've got available land. Our price is in the right market for the advanced manufacturing, and so getting to understand what their needs are, what their goals are, and the direction they're moving, we're making sure that what we're doing over here, especially with our unemployment rate being so low, that we are seeking new jobs and the right jobs with the right wages, and then that we're also, growing the community to be able to fulfill those jobs with the right education, the right trade skills, and making sure we're matching. And so much of economic development is not just involving the community, but making sure from a partner perspective that we're all on the same page and we're all going in the same direction. So we want to make sure that we take their information and communicate it back to TCAP, communicate it back to Cumberland University, communicate it back to the Chamber's Economic Development Committee, and make sure that we're all on the same page so we're all going the same direction. So they really gave us some exciting information and kind of walked me through with my brain how before the recession we had, I think it was in 1999, they had 500,000 positions for in manufacturing, and today it's about 250 to 300,000. And they were walking us through also the fact that the baby boomer generation is setting to retire. So much of a large percentage of their workforce is going to continue to exit the workforce, and so sitting around a table with like-minded individuals and people in the industry and figuring out what are our next steps and how do we move forward to a common goal was exciting to be a part of, and I really feel like they're doing it right, reaching out, and it's all coming together, and we have people that the state brings us looking at the area to set up new manufacturing plants and advanced manufacturing plants, and so when we're talking to them, we can show them the workforce we have through TCAP and where the population's coming from and from the community to help drive those jobs, because at the end of the day, if we want to have the retail and we want to have, it all come together in that awesome Hartman Drive corridor, we still have to have jobs. People still need to make money and be able to go spend it. So that's really what I have prepared today. Thank you for letting me be here. I'm excited. I think things are going so awesome in Lebanon and Wilson County, so I'm proud to be a part of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. Sarah always has a lot of good information for us. Okay, at this time, I just want to invite you back for our next Chambertown News, and that's going to be on July the 28th here at the Chamber, and it will be sponsored by the Pavilion. So be here, be in the know, and stay connected. Thank you all.